Alright, so we're about to tear the top end down on this do-ahead gasket. So I did end up breaking both of the exhaust stud bolts off in the head. So that's going to be one of the projects, is getting those head bolts out, or those exhaust stud bolts out. I'll have to weld some nuts on those and try to get them out that way. Let's get to it. Let's pull the plug. You guys probably shouldn't use any kind of impact on pulling the plug out, but alright, so next we're going to take off the valve inspection covers. Guess we'll have to find a block of wood to support that. Yep, that'll do. I already broke the two exhaust bolts off, the exhaust studs off in the head, so try to be a little more careful this time around. So when you get a little bit of a stuck bolt, it's good to go forward, backward, let it break free, clean up the threads a little. There is 3 on the exhaust valve cover. There's 3 on the exhaust valve cover bolt and only 2 on the intake. They're not really Torx bits, but a T30 works. Yeah, I think they're Allen ones, but T30 works good. Take these O-rings. You're going to want to buy a gasket kit and put new O-rings in them. So this is where you're going to want to start taking your bolts and putting them in bags and labeling them. That way, if you don't finish this in the same day, or just you haven't done anything like this before, you don't forget where they all go. Once you get the valve inspection port covers off, you're going to want to turn it around, get your timing chain cover off. Bear with me, guys, I might not know the correct names of all these things, but I know how to work on them, so it's the important part. Crack that open. Get that out of the way. We'll spin this around. That way you guys can see in it. So up here you get your cam gear. This is your timing chain, and there's the tensioner for it. So we're going to get this cracked free, this chain. We don't want it to fall off the bottom end because we're not doing anything with the bottom end. So we're going to try to keep this chain suspended up while we're working on it. If you don't have a rubber mallet or a brass hammer, you can just put a couple layers of a rag over what you're trying to hit and still gently tap it. And out comes the chain tensioner. So I'm pretty sure you can reset these somehow. Yeah, there you go. You just pull this little tab right here in, push that down, and it resets. It's got a little tab right there on it, and you can just pull that tab down. It's got teeth in here. So that's a chain tensioner out. So yeah, now we got plenty of slack on our chain, which is what we want. we're not really too worried about time because we're going to have to retime it anyway. So we got to now figure out how to keep this held up. If we got any wire, string, something, I don't know what we do in here. There we go. A couple of good whacks. Get that thing right out. You guys should probably do that before you pull the tensioner. That way you don't have to deal with it like I did. But either way. So when you pull this last bolt out of here, and this gear is going to want to come down, you're going to want to make sure you don't drop your timing chain in. Slowly wiggle this off, keeping pressure upward. That way you don't drop your timing chain. And then if you grab the top of the chain, you should be able to just wiggle this out of here while keeping pressure on your chain. Just like that. Now you got your cam gear out. We're just going to put a simple wire around here. And then we're going to go up and through the motor mount on the top. Fold that back over and that's it. Now we're going to get our head bolts loose. Alright, so now we're going to get the head bolts out. Head bolts. What does this thing have? 6 head bolts? So it's got the 4 on top and then the 2 on the side, I guess. Oh, and then there's one down here also. What's that make it? 7? Alright, so it looks like we got 2 long ones and 2 short ones. So the 2 long ones are going to go on your timing cover side, and the 2 short ones are going to go on the opposite of the timing cover side. Oh yeah, the head bolts on top are 14 millimeter, 6-point, and these guys right here are a T40. A T40 will work. They're actually, they actually take an Allen key, but I don't have Allen keys inside here, and I don't feel like going outside to get them. And I forgot them on the last 20 trips, so. Yeah, this battery sucks. Alright, now we got our head loose, so once you got your head loose, you're going to want to grab the wire that's holding your timing chain. Grab that, make sure you keep it tight, and then you're just going to want to pull this up and off. There's going to be some dowel pins in there, I'm sure, so watch out for them. But, yep, head's off now, so pull that, keep your timing chain tight. Alright, and then you got your head off. So what'd that take? 15 minutes, and then we got our head off. It would have taken probably, honestly, about 5 minutes if I wasn't videoing. But see what I'm saying? So one of these sides here looks like an oil port, and it's got a little flat gasket here, and one is just a standard dowel pin. So you're going to want to make sure you get that dowel pin out. I believe the kit comes with new ones. Mine did. So make sure you change that seal there too. Check your valves. They actually look pretty good on this one. So the intake boot is a 6mm hex head. You're going to want to make sure you change that intake gasket in here too while you got this all apart. Then we're going to move on to the head here. So you got one hidden Allen bolt down here. Yep. So that hidden side head bolt is in fact a 5mm. In my opinion, one firm whack is usually better than just cranking on it, but you want to make sure you get it straight. Honestly, that wasn't even that tight, so I'm going to guarantee you guys aren't either if you're having this problem. So that should be it on the head bolts, and then you can pop your head up and out, or your jug, your cylinder, whatever you guys call it. So when you get it up to this point right here and you got it cracked free a bit, you don't want to just go ripping this thing out, because the piston's gonna be at an angle and you're gonna fuck your cylinder up. So what you're gonna want to do is, if you can grab the rod, grab the rod. If not, just kind of push your finger down in there and you'll be able to see air down in around this. And then just simply pull that up off. If your chain does fall down in, it's not the world's biggest deal. But then you got your jug off. You can inspect it, make sure your hone's still good, make sure there's no deep scoring inside your cylinder walls. You can inspect your piston, make sure your crank bearings are good. And there's supposed to be a little bit of play, so if you got a little bit, don't stress. But now's the time you're going to want to make sure you don't get anything down in this bottom end. And it looks like I have a seal down in there. So as you can see, I dropped a little seal down in there, plus a bunch of pieces of little gasket. So definitely make sure you get down in there and get all those pieces out. That'll clog your oil pump, your oil tubes, everything else, and you'll be rebuilding this again. And probably with a bottom end this time, though. So, see what I'm saying? You can see down in to make sure you're going to be on the gear down in there. So it's not the world's biggest deal if it does fall off, but it's always just been my practice to try to make sure you keep it on there. But it's going to have to get retimed anyway. So now we just clean up all our surfaces. We're going to put our new head gasket on. Got it. So one of these flat ones only goes in this top head, and then down bottom here below the cylinder and jug, that gets an O-ring. Alright, so now it's pretty much just clean up surfaces. You can take this off. The kit does come with these gaskets. So you're going to make sure you get all the air out of each one of these bolt holes. Because if you don't, when you go to screw these bolts back down in, all that fluid that's down in the hole is going to hydro lock and split the case down here. As you can see on the head here, those bolts are still broken in there. So we're going to take this outside and try to weld a couple of nuts on these and see if we can get them out.